Yo, I got a special guest today. We had met at a mutual friends event. Big's Big World. Energy was lit. Music was dropping at that time as well. You know, through another mutual friend who I love and respect dearly, Smooth G. They had just dropped the album together. Then I started looking into him, saw he had 5, 6, 7 albums, been working. Then I get to meet him, find out he's been doing things in the community, trying to help others. Father, hard worker, soon to be content creator, rapper, bars, best beats. They say he picks the best beats. FreeQunci in the building. Hey, man.
Hey.
I really appreciate you.
Hey, man.
For sure.
I can tell you what, man, that's the best introduction. That's the best introduction
Hey, we just happy to have you, man.
I've ever had, man.
We just happy to have you.
Man, I'm just happy to be here, man. Really,
appreciate
for real.
That,
I really am. What you're doing, before we start, what you're doing for the community, for the hip hop community, for the artists, is big.
No, and that's honestly,
man.
That's kind of what I'm trying to do. Is like, this is what I be telling everybody when they come through and we celebrate. I'm like, if we don't celebrate us, who gonna?
Right.
And then when the people start seeing us, oh yeah, you know why these guys like you should be celebrated? You know, the Smooths of the world, because they've been doing it.
Yep.
Legends. So we should be celebrating that. And then that should be motivation for the people coming behind y'all.
Absolutely.
And then, you know, but you know what it is. We're just trying to give out some flowers.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we've been dropping a lot of music,
FreeQunci
man.
in the building, FreeQunci
Big facts.
officially building. Yes.
Big fact. Been dropping a lot of music.
That is right. I have been dropping a lot of music.
Been dropping a lot of music.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Let me just get it out the way. What is some of your musical influences?
All right.
Because I feel like I could hear them, you know what I mean? But
so
kind of walk me through that.
I'm going to go way back to the beginning and just say that Jay-Z was my ultimate musical influence.
I knew that I set that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about
my ultimate influence. No.
How do you end up being kind of a Jay-Z fan here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think Des Moines, we originally, like my generation of music and people, we all listened to East Coast hip hop. You know, the Wu-Tangs, you know, the Mobb Deeps, you know.
Say it again,
the Big L's, you know. Yeah. I know I'm missing a lot, but we really like that authentic New York hip hop. I think
threw a big L out there.
Yeah, we just all like gravitated towards that. You know what I mean? That was just what we listened to growing up. You know, and then obviously you had Tupac.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, because you know, I've had a lot of artists come through here. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't got a lot of that talk.
Oh no,
you know, Smooth, and then you know you'll hear Nas get some love. You know what I mean? But I hear a lot of just down south, Chicago, a lot of Twister, a lot of, you know, Texas rap. You know what I'm saying? So I have not ran into a ton of Iowans, keep it real with you, who rock with East Coast rap. You was just name dropping like Big L and stuff, you know? So I know they exist.
Right.
But you say it like it's so normal. Like, nah, I've been dying to break down some hoes with somebody, you know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. like, you know, that is what we were on, man. And, you know, you mentioned the South, though, like the South, you know, T.I.
I love T.I. He in my top 5.
Definitely a big influence. You know,
but he kind of rapped like a little bit. You know what I mean?
He gives his props. Yeah, he gives his props to the East as well. The East is where it started, man. So that's what we just gravitated towards, you know. But I kind of seem to feel like my music now has my own stamping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And Des Moines stamping. But yeah, in the beginning, like you start to like you gravitate to somebody that you like. And then you start kind of writing like him. Like I remember when my brother started writing, you know, and he would start rapping. He sounded a lot like Lil Wayne, you know what I mean? And I'm sure I probably sounded like Jay-Z in the beginning, you know. But then you start to like mold into your own and start to have your own craft and your own creativity, and really start to hone into your own personality as an artist. You know what I mean?
Word.
And that came, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely Jay-Z, Eminem, you know, obviously was a huge influence. It's how his wordplay.
Yeah, let me take you back even a little bit further.
Yeah.
Like, what music were you hearing growing up, like in your household?
Absolutely, a lot of R&B. Grew up to a lot of R&B. You know, SWV, Jodeci, Anita Baker, Take 6, Luther Vandross, Whitney Houston. You know. MC Hammer.
Word.
You down with OPP?
Hey, that was one of the only
Bone Thugs and Harmony, bro. So my influence you know, as an artist, you know, I'll say New York, but there is definitely a lot of like Bone Thugs in me too.
Yo,
you know, the harmonizing that they do. Like if you listen to a lot of my music, I do a lot of harmonizing
for sure,
and singing on my hooks, you know, and
sure.
things like that. And so all of that, what I've done is all what I've grown up listening to, and then put it to my own style.
And I feel like Bone Thugs though, they almost kind of, because that was the crazy thing about growing up in New York.
Yeah.
And back then, obviously, you got music much differently in the early 90s, right?
Yeah.
So we never really got anything that wasn't New York unless it was, and I'll never forget when Thuggish Ruggish Bone came out, because it even hit in New York. So it was different. To us, it was like, yeah, man, that one was that was a game changer.
It was a game changer. And another game changer was Nelly.
100%. You know what?
A game changer.
I say now today, Nelly was criminally underrated.
Oh yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I remember we was trying to make fun of Nelly.
To me.
Well, no, but back being from the East Coast and stuff, we tried to act like it was corny and all that.
Yeah.
And when I listen to it now, and I hear the harmony and the flow, and I listen to some new rappers, I'm like, damn.
Yep.
I'm like, damn, Nelly is way colder than a lot of this I'm hearing now. Why was we so hard on him? But we don't want change. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, but he did find his way to be, because Jay-Z even gave him his props. He said, only one doing units is me, Pimp Juice, and us.
Yeah.
Or Pimp Juice and us.
Yeah.
So he was doing his thing. But I got my one Nelly story. I like telling the story, and I got to tell the story. My senior year in high school, we went on spring break to Florida.
Word.
And we drove to Louisiana, and then we flew to Florida. I don't know why we did that. I don't know why we did that. And I also don't know why our parents let us drive as 18-year-olds.
Shout out to survival.
But you know what? I grew up on that trip because I was the guy that had the map in the back. You know what I mean? And I learned that I like directions and all that. But anyways, so we fly to Florida, and we meet these chicks while we're down there that week. And they happen to be from St. Louis.
Word.
And so we're kicking it with them or whatever like that. We start kicking it with them, and we're kicking with them the rest of the week, you know, just kicking it. And one of them one night was like, yeah, we're going to put the CD in here from St. Louis. His name's Nelly. We're like, who? Like, his name's Nelly. He's about to blow up. You know, he's big in St. Louis. We're like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? Put it in. They put the CD in, you know, the song in it. All right, you know, whatever.
Word.
It's different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know what to like take from it, because it wasn't
different.
It was different.
Yeah.
And then so I was just like, all right. But they just kept saying he's gonna blow up soon. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So, you know, we leave and we drive back up. We actually drive through St. Louis to see him again on our way back home.
Word.
Back then, man.
Hey, man. I ain't mad at you. Man. Maybe you still got it.
Man, you know, I'm retired now. Man, you know. But anyways, so when we was there, listening to more or whatever like that. So get home, literally 2 weeks later, he
Country
drops.
Grammar hits?
It hits. And we look at each other and we're like, dang, they wasn't lying.
Yeah, Country Grammar was everywhere.
Yeah, we bought that, man. We repped it. We
everywhere.
Repped it, he was us. He was, you know, because I'm from the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? So like he was us. You know what I'm saying? Like, just cool people want to have fun. You know, we're not trying to be like, you know, causing any issues with people. We just want to have fun, have a good time.
Yep.
You know, and put it in our music. You know what I mean? That's how I always felt my music was about. But yeah, Nelly was a big influence too, for sure.
Yeah, I do. I definitely feel like he was slept on. So you had some unique musical influences for sure. Well, are you Des Moines kind of born and raised?
Yes, man. West Side, right? You know, right down the street over here. West Side Des Moines, 16th and Hickman is what I always like. Well, you'll hear me say in a lot of my songs. You know, I think I say it in the new album, 16th and Hickman. You know, but yeah, man, Des Moines, born and raised, bro, and moved for a little bit. Went to college in Florida for 6 years.
Wait, hold on. Where you go to, you know, everybody gonna want to know where you go to high school.
Oh, I went to.
That matters when you're from the city. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you see that right there. You see that right there.
Oh, hold on. Yeah.
Yeah, you see
What's that?
What's that? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's where it was.
Okay,
talk to him.
Shoot, boy, I was that dope, boy.
So where'd you go to school?
I went to Roosevelt. I graduated from Roosevelt.
Word.
What I'm saying? And I went to Hoover too, though.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? I should have graduated from Hoover. You know, that's kind of how the Des Moines Boys name kind of came about in the first place, because we just we were all over the city. You know what I'm saying? We just felt like
So
we was cool everywhere with everybody. So that's why we called ourselves Des Moines Boys. So, you know, when we all transferred schools, it kind of broadened that out a little bit more.
Word. So to give people a timeline, so you started rapping in high school or taking it serious in high school?
No, I actually did not start rapping in high school. And so I'm gonna give you the timeline. So I feel like our generation, you know what I'm saying, outside of like Corey D.
Yep, I'm hip.
Smooth,
legend.
So Smooth.
Legend.
So like Smooth.
Legend.
Yeah. Corey
Smooth
D.
coming through on Saturday.
Yeah.
Legend.
So Smooth, Kaiser.
Kaiser, legend.
And Horizon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So those dudes.
He from the Cyphers.
Yeah, Robert Tolson.
Yeah.
So
we've done some stuff together. Yeah.
So listen to this. So I'm working at Yonkers selling shoes. You know what I'm saying? I used to slang shoes and make money too.
Word.
So he just rolled up on me one time. He just rolled up on me like, "Hey man, buy this CD," and I'm like, "Whoa, I didn't even know you was rapping." First off, you know. So he was like the first one that was like out there really trying to put himself out there as a rapper. And so this was after high school. You know, we were already out of high school at this time.
Word.
So nobody was really doing it in high school. Maybe they was in their rooms doing it, you know, but nobody was like really out there trying to do it like that. It was like once we got out of high school, then they was doing it. And then so I've always liked music. I used to, you know, do, you know, a lot of R&B, listen to a lot of R&B, used to perform when I was younger in front of the family and sing and things like that, have videos and all that. So it was already in me, you know what I mean? And so my passion was basketball.
Word.
So once basketball was over and I needed somewhere to put that competitive spirit.
Word.
And guess what I think? Hip hop's a sport, right?
Yeah, and it's competitive.
So it really is. So like it was a way for me to like show my competitiveness because I'm talking about myself and I love myself, right?
Word.
And I'm also expressing myself, you know, on things that I feel, and I can put it in a creative way and get it out there. You know what I mean? And so those are the things that I was doing at the time. And what the heck were we talking about?
You were talking about sports, going through high school, the formation of Des Moines Boys.
Yeah.
Who was in it?
Yeah, I'm tripping.
Man. Shout out.
I always tell a story and jump to another story. And I
got you. But
I do that all the time.
So you said who was in it, and then you was kind of going from there. And then you started talking about your passion being basketball, and you needed something to put your competitive spirit. You was just telling your musical story through high school.
How we got to Horizon. So they was already doing it. And so we moved down to Florida, you know what I'm saying? And we was working down there. And then so that's when I started writing. And then when I got down there, I met some people that connected me with Baby Blue, who made beats.
Word.
And so from there, I had Naeem Abdullah, Sean McDermott, Brian Cooper, and we were all down there living in a condo. And then so I came in and I was like, hey, let's put a group together. We called it Des Moines Boys because we were in Florida and people knew we were different. So we were like, well, this would be the Des Moines Boys, you know what I mean? And we really were the Des Moines Boys too.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? So we actually started recording in Florida first in 2004.
Okay.
We came back that summer with a 3-song disc. Yeah, 3-song, not a disc, a CD.
That's what I'm saying.
Disc. And we wrote on them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we wrote on them, like everything.
I love that shit, man. Shout out to the grind, you hear me?
And we passed out all summer long. So we had people listening to this. So then the next summer comes out, we go back down to Florida, then we record the rest of the album. You know what I mean? And we come out with Students of the Game in 2005. And we sell 3,000 copies in 6 months.
Damn.
On ground, on foot.
Word.
We was everywhere, man. Like we was at the fair, we was in front of malls. We was rapping to people who didn't listen to rap.
That grind was.
They be like, "What music you listen to?" "Oh, I listen to country." "All right, well, let me rap for you real quick." You know what I mean? And whatever, $10, boom.
I love it.
You know what I mean? And so that's how we started. That's how we started, man. And so we came in right after those dudes came in. So we was right in the beginning. So I feel like our generation, what I was saying, I feel like our generation is really the start of what you're seeing today. You know what I mean? Like we was the ones that were getting into the clubs, you know, and starting to perform.
Word.
We was the ones that was negotiating the deals with these business people in the clubs and trying to get in there and perform and show our talent off. We was the ones trying to get on 85, you know what I mean? Talking to Deo, you know, I'm trying to
name drop.
You know what I mean? Like we was the one that kind of started all that, you know, and we was the ones that, you know, put hip hop into the bars. You know what I'm saying? Like Lesson 7.
Yeah,
You know
so
what I
we
mean?
going. That's
You know
hold
what I mean?
on,
Like,
hold on. So you can't just be out here talking about
Yeah.
legendary shit.
Yeah.
So flippantly, you hear me?
Yeah.
So hold on. So okay, so you had a rap group.
Yes.
And fell in love with making music. I'm guessing creating music, doing all type of shit,
Yep.
and then you end up in a band.
Yeah. So how I ended up in the
a
band.
band. Hold on, I'll
Yeah.
tell you this. Because Lesson 7, like when I first came here from New York, like I wanted to try to figure out who was who, you know? So I went to Platinum, and that's kind of how I started finding people. And then I started looking up stuff online. And early, at some point, I just came across y'all. And then, like we had talked about, I'd seen y'all live.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you said that was your band, I had actually was a fan. I remember that. So, and I just found it organically, you know what I'm saying? So super cool. So you had
and that is super cool.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
The rap group, you know, y'all do your thing. Some of them are still probably moving, right? But then you transition to a band. So that's kind of let's kind of talk about how
that happened. Yeah. Well, the reason why the Des Moines Boys, when we came out with our second album in 2008, we just basically had a life kind of falling out. But we're cool to this day. You know, he was just over my house a couple months ago playing with my son down in the basement, so everything's good to go. Actually, you're gonna be looking out for some Des Moines Boys music here. He's down in Texas. He's down in Texas. You know, he's been living in Texas. You know, but I've been holding it down for us, man, this whole time, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he appreciates that.
Word.
And we're still very tied, but. You know, we separated. It was a life thing. So so then I was like, all right. So I was like, how do I take my craft and broaden it out to more people?
Word.
And I was like, put a live application together, because the city, everywhere I was going, everywhere I went, bands were everywhere.
So around what year was this?
This is like 2008, 9. And I'm seeing bands and playing. I ain't seen no hip hop people in the bars. We're at the venues like Vaudeville Muse.
Word.
But we're not like where the people are at.
Yeah.
You know, they're already there. So I was like, how can I get there? You know? And I was like, all right. Linkin Park, rest in peace. That was my band, bro.
Yeah.
That was
legendary.
That changed my whole musical outlook. When I first heard them, I was like, what is this? And why am I so attached to it? Because this is not who I am.
Yeah.
You know, it was like the first initial thought, like, you know.
But then I just said, real, like art, like real
but it was
powerful
like,
music will do that.
Yeah, but it was just like, I'm just talking about like the style of the music. Like it was alternative, right? It was just like, it was that time where that music was really big, right? And so like Linkin Park like totally changed it for me. So I was like, I want to put a band together. I want to put my own band together. So I found, I put an ad out on YouTube and on Facebook.
That's crazy.
It was kind of cool. We could probably find it. It'd be kind of funny to look like, oh, it's Young BAC from Des Moines Boys. You know, I'm putting a band together.
Is it on your YouTube channel?
It's somewhere buried in some YouTube channel I've had in the past. I don't know, but
fair enough.
You know, we might have to try to find it later. But it was kind of cool. So the word gets out. You know what I mean? And it was kind of cool how the band kind of formed. So Luke, who was the original singer in the band, I knew him. So we had him. He's an alternative singer. And then he had a friend named Hojadi. And Hojadi was more of like an R&B, like soul type of a singer. But he was so good that we had to put him in the band. And then we had Ryan Shaquin, who kind of made beats and played the piano and things like that. And then Jimmy, who knew Luke, he was our guitar player. And then he runs into Brian York, who I went to school with his sister, who tells him about me trying to put a band together, who then runs into Jimmy at a party, who tells him he's putting a band together, to then Brian finds out that it's the same band that I'm trying to put together.
Divine intervention, man.
Crazy.
Intervention.
Crazy. And then we put in Jimmy's brother as a bass player, and that's how it happens. And then Luke falls off, Ryan Shaquin falls off, and then it's just me, Hojadi, and then Brian the drummer, Jimmy the guitar player, and Mike Bishop, his brother, on bass. And then we just take off, man. And we rehearse and we write the songs all winter long in a garage. And we start having people come over in the garage and we start playing, start seeing what their reactions are. And then it went from that to our first show. And then, man, it was crazy. I think it was a House of Bricks, yeah.
Man, the House of Bricks, legendary.
Yeah, legendary, the second one. And so we did it there, and then we just started expanding, man. And then we started putting in covers to get into the bar. So now we have our own originals, and then we have covers, and now it's just like it's game over, bro. Like, and I'm throwing in like freestyles, like on writing verses for cover songs to throw a rap verse in there, you know. And then like everybody comes up, oh, that was cool what y'all did to that song. You know what I mean? How you put the rap verse in there. And
that's what I remember thinking was it was just unique. It was like I liked how to me, just sonically, I just enjoyed it.
Yeah,
that's just what I remember.
Well, I appreciate it, man. The band means a lot to me. The band, we're still friends. We're still linked. We still talk every day. Tell each other Merry Christmas, every Merry Christmas.
No, because when you mentioned the name, I kind of lit up a little bit because I remember like, they were dope for a minute.
Yeah, man. We really could have gone places, and so.
But sounds like you had a good time, though.
Yeah, we had a great time. It was awesome. The album was
made
dope.
Some art.
It's a classic. We sold out Woolies on our album release party. Like we're legends. We're legends, bro.
I agree.
Legends. Matter of fact, while we're talking about that, I got some gifts from my guy right here.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? We from the old school, you know what I mean? So I brought some gifts and like, dog, like Des Moines boys, you know, this is the second album, 2008. Look at, still in the plastic, bro. You know what I mean? We got Lesson 7. We just talking about that, 2012, still in the plastic, you know. And then we got Brian Clark Music's first album, Heaven Flow, classic. And then my first solo album, and I dropped this right before I dropped the Lesson 7 album. The band gave me time to concentrate on this. They knew how important it was for me to put this together for myself after, you know, being with the Mourn Boys and everything. I owed it to myself. That's why it's called B, Myself and I. And this is B because it's just me, myself and I. So that's when I went by the gift. This album's dope too, man. This album's hard. So you got that. And then I just gave you another one of these. So I almost brought my first one. I have one more of I only have one copy of my first one. It's called Students of the Game. And I had to cherish that copy so much that I didn't even want to bring it and like take a chance of like you robbing me for it or something. Man, look at this. Yeah, man. That's how you do it, man. Like obviously you can't do it like that no more. The times have changed, but back then, that's how you did it though.
Man, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, you can take this one too. They'll give you a second one. Give this to somebody, bro. Hey, man, for real, bro.
Appreciate
it's love,
it.
Man.
I'm glad you made it, man.
Yeah, man. Legendary, so bro. Yeah.
The band goes crazy.
The band goes crazy, man. We're traveling. You know, we got, you know, offers to come to LA and do things, and people want us to do shows, and it just got a lot, you know what I'm saying? And just not knowing what direction we really wanted to go. So we just chilled and became a wedding band and made some money. We made a lot of money because we bought a lot of equipment. We didn't pay ourselves. We made a ton of money through that 5 years.
I love to see somebody
and so
get paid off their art.
Yeah. And then but no, man, we just kind of, you know, in 2015 it kind of, you know, just kind of fizzled out, you know. So then from there, you know, in 2016, you know, that's when I go to Brian Clark Music.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what comes from that?
Yeah. So Brian Clark Music was my Christian base, you know, which
man, God is good.
Absolutely. You know,
shout out to Jesus.
I just wanted to, you know, show my appreciation, you know, to my faith. You know what I'm saying?
I think about a lot of times when I write these days, it'll be very, you know, heavily influenced by God.
Right.
But I've never called myself a Christian. But it feels like Christian rap. But you're seeing like rap about Jesus and God that's more like almost connecting with the younger audience. I've been hearing some like some trap music and like but it's faith based is the word I want to use.
Yeah.
You know, because I was trying to say, well, what about if you're trying to rap, but you don't want to be necessarily Christian rap, but you do want to rap about faith.
Right.
But
I've influenced 2 artists to do Christian rap since I've done it, which is crazy.
Yeah.
My boy W, shout out to W. He now does Christian music, and then my brother in Chicago, he Austin Fillmore, but now he goes by Sunday AM. I like that, you know what I'm saying? And he's doing Christian music, and it's good. I think it's important, you know, for anybody that and whatever you believe in, right?
Yeah.
If you're an artist, to express that through your work at some point, right? So I did that. That was dope. You know, what was cool about that, man, is that, you know, Lutheran Church of Hope, you know, give them a big shout out. You know, they really supported Brian Clark music, you know, and allowed me to perform on stage, you know, for them. They asked me to do a lot of, you know, services, you know. But the cool thing is after doing a lot of services of like covers for them, they eventually asked me to do my own music on stage.
Very cool.
You know, and it was like another one of those like before I get into that, in 2008, Des Moines Boys we were the first artists to ever perform at the 8035. Like we opened up the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? The Roots.
Very
You
cool.
know what I'm saying? So that was a moment like
That's a big deal.
can't nobody take that away from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's stamped in our hip hop community, like for real. Setting the stage, right? Literally. You know what I'm saying? And then to also do it again on the Christian thing, that was like my height. Like that was like, okay, I made it. The Moon Boys like, all right, we made it. You know what I mean? Like, all right, I'm on stage. Not only am I on stage, dog, it was at the Waterworks. They did their Taste of Hope there. It was thousands of people, like shuttle buses and like people everywhere. And I go and they had me perform right after service, bro. Like Pastor Mike hands me the mic. You know what I mean?
Then.
And I'm like the week before, because I hadn't performed in a long time, you know, because when I was with Less Than 7 Weeks, performing a lot. Then after that, wasn't performing that much. And so I take it seriously. Like I'm being on stage, like artists, like you going on stage, like go out there and do it. You know what I'm saying? Like put the energy into it, like script it out, like for real. Like don't just go up there and stumble. You know what I mean? Like and like have pride in that. You know what I mean? It's part of it. Like I seen one dude get upset at himself because he messed up, but he just had too much energy. And I talked to him after, pulled him aside and gave him some pointers. But anyways, I was like in the zone all week. You know what I mean? In the zone all week. And then go up there and perform Parables. I guess out of the 3 Brian Clark music albums, I guess I would say that was the best one. And they allowed me to do that, man. I think that's huge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a big deal.
And people loved it, man. And so that was really big for me, man. So yeah. So did that and then did 3 albums with that, man, and then, you know, got over the FreeQunci, and that's where we are today. So y'all gotta go out there and get those albums, Brian Clark Music, look that up. FreeQunci right now.
Well, so speaking of that, you want to play something?
Let's play something. Yeah.
Let's why don't you kind of talk about the video that we're gonna play for him?
Yeah, and we can start talking about
kind of just give an idea of what they're gonna see.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Yeah, no, so it's not up on the video. You can kind of lead them into it.
Yeah, man.
So tell them what the song is, kind of.
So the song is a second song on the album, and it's just me rapping. I like doing tracks where I can just rap.
Word.
And you know, we talk about that beat selection thing.
Yeah.
Like there's art in that. I think.
I agree.
Actually, I don't think I know. There's art in that. Like you know, and so coming up, I always had to take beats that were just available, right?
Yeah.
And like, all right, I'll just take it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now you have like the internet, and you can just like, but you gotta be patient.
Cultivate.
And, like,
what you want your sound to be, though.
Exactly. Because Decode sounds nothing like Out the Mud. Decode has his own nostalgia type of sound. Decode will always have that sound. We'll get into that later. You know, but Out the Mud, you know, I wanted a specific sound to that.
Word.
Like, you know?
Yep.
And so, you know, coming into that is how it was going to be. So that sound that I come with God Given, it was just a track that I just wanted. I was like, oh, I can just rap to this because it had that type of feel to it, like, and just rap all the way through. I was like, oh, I love those types of tracks.
So you just giving them bars on this one? Just
giving them bars on this one. So, and it was just how I felt at the time. So, you know, I wrote this album in 2 weeks. I recorded 14 songs in 5 hours.
Who shot the video?
On December 21st. Alex Arthur, who was just here.
Shot this video?
No, but he witnessed me 14 tracks in 5 hours.
Oh, yeah. No, I was leading him into the joint you about to play.
Oh, yeah.
And so who shot the video?
And Eli Fox, my guy.
And
shot the video.
Did Alex did he produce this as well?
And
or engineer it?
He engineered it.
Yep.
And producer. I'm giving him producer.
Yeah, because beat maker isn't always the producer of a song.
Yeah, because he told me, he's like, man, I like working with you. He's like, because you allow me to get on there. I was like, yeah. Because you allow somebody else to put their own creativity.
I agree, yo.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And it just opens it up.
And he just have an ear that you don't have at the time.
Shout out to Alex, man. That's my guy, man. he shot me out on a post on Facebook, said how I came through these last 12
Shout out
months.
to Carousel.
I came through these last 12 months, and he just saw me
Man,
lock
love those
in,
guys,
man. So
man.
I appreciate the love, man, because you know he's locked in. He's
So,
there all the time.
Speaking of Carousel,
So this is God given.
we about to play a joint that was recorded
Yeah.
there.
God given.
We about to get to it. Let's go, man.
FreeQunci. Roosevelt.
God. Shit.
Bro, you say you got bucks, you sound like God placed me back on my feet. So I'm talking about things I kept covered down beneath. Soul preparation, digging it all up. This my own excavation. Have you found yourself too worried about pleasing them and everybody else? I am more about being in, find a peace with myself. That's heaven for the win. No Hail Mary in the end. Execute properly. Ain't nobody stopping me. Not unconscious, but I flow consciously over nasty beats directly sent to me. If that ain't God given, dog, then I don't know what it be. FreeQunci. Hey, so I was just doing the ad-libs because I don't like rapping over my music, bro. When I performed,
Man, that
bro,
shit looked, that whole back and forth looked crispy as hell.
Bro,
man, you
bro.
just got busy.
When I performed, I never performed over my tracks. I always performed over my dubs. So messes you up. Yeah, man. Oh yeah. So the video keeps going right here. Yeah, so you know they got me in here looking at the Beamer, checking it out.
Okay, then.
That
shit look pretty.
Yeah. You know, and then I'm just over here. You know, my videos, bro, a lot of them, I think of kind of what I want to do, but I always leave room for the imagination. And so, like, some of it's like I kind of had planned, and then some of it I don't. And this is one of the ones that kind of happened on the spot right here. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, I kind of think of it like this right here, like this. That's epic to me. That, and then Eli just puts it all together. You just bake, you ain't no grind, you just wait, you ain't no shark. Shout out to everybody paying attention. Shout out to everybody watching. You know, I support everybody who supports me, man, and we love the haters too.
Yeah. So you had mentioned in that song, and you know, if you want to talk about it, but you had mentioned having an accident of some kind and kind of having to rebound from some stuff. You do talk about it on the album. I don't know if that's something that you want to kind of get into, or at least let people know where this album was rooted from, and kind of.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to talk about that. It's really important, man. Out the Mud, man. Go get Out the Mud for real. Decode's out. Kings on the Flea. FreeQunci. Go get that. Unbelievable projects, all done in 16 months. But Out the Mud. So I had an accident, man, November 11th. Last year, November 11th.
Yeah, so not that long ago.
Yeah, so I'll just tell you, I'll keep it real, I'll tell you the whole story. You know, like I go to the steam room, you know what I mean? And like, I like everybody sit in the steam room, you know what I'm saying? And so I usually go in there for about a half hour or so, and then I'll go get my water bottle, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll go back in there, you know, and then my body tells me to leave. When I get up out, that's usually how it works, right? So for whatever reason, when I went back in the second time with my water bottle that day, like I just felt like off. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right, let me get up out of here. So get out of there. And then like, I'm like really off, like feeling like I got to pass out off. Yeah. That's what I mean by when I say off. And so I was like, man, let me sit down. So I sit down, and then I couldn't shake it. You know, usually you can kind of shake that.
For sure.
You know, like when you're exercising, you haven't exercised in a while, and you feel like you're going to pass out or something, like you kind of shake it. So I was like, let me shake it. And I couldn't shake it. So then I kind of started getting kind of scared a little bit, you know? Yeah. So now I was like, all right, man, there's a shower right there, you know. I had my shorts on. I was like, let me go over here, you know, run some cold water on me, you know what I mean, and see. Got over there, and right when I got over there, that's when I really started to panic, and I was like, damn, let me try to get it on. And by the time I got the water on me, like, it wasn't even really cold. And then I was like, I got to get back to that bench because I'm about to, like, pass out. Yeah. And then that's scary. It is scary, man. And then all of a sudden, I wake up off the ground, man. And the first thing I saw was my AirPod. And it was like a movie. You know, when you see like the camera, like somebody waking up like this, and then like they have the camera from the perspective of the camera of that person with the flick. That's kind of how it felt. Like I was like waking back up into this existence of what, you know what I mean? Like, and then the first thing I saw like a silhouette was like the AirPod. It was so weird. And then like I subconsciously like laughed at myself, like, man, you really just passed out, you know? And then I was like, oh shoot, I just passed out. Like am I okay?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so like instantly, like I pass out, and then like they come running, they're like, "You all right? You all right?" And it's like, you know, call 911. And then like I sit up, they sit me up, and then they're like, "You hit your chin on the bench, son. You hit your chin on the bench." So I'm like, I'm glad he said that, because that kind of helped us later on when we got to the hospital and stuff. And then so they put me up on it on the bench, and then I'm like laying, like my left shoulder's like up against the wall, and then like my right arm is just like hanging there. You know what I mean? Because I can't move it, because the pain in my right hand is like a level of pain that I've never felt before.
Damn.
And it was like all like point that I had to have done something to my neck or something, you know, because I've had that type, not that type of pain before, but I knew it was nerve pain, and it was coming from down there. So then they're like, "Can you move your arm?" And I didn't know. And so like I moved my arm, and then they were like, "What hurts?" I was like, "My right hand and my shoulder." And then long story short, ambulance comes, take me to the hospital, about pass out again, sweating, you know, and then they do an x-ray, and then they saw that basically when I fell and hit my chin, it threw my head back, and then I had a bone spur that was back there that was pre-existing, that pushed up against my spinal cord, so it bruised my spinal cord. So they thought that I had a spinal cord leak, which we'll get into that. And then they didn't like the way my x-rays looked, so they wanted to do a MRI. And so when they did the MRI, that's when they saw that I had pre-existing damage in my neck. So basically, this C3 through C were degenerated, damaged, gone. You know, and they said our necks are supposed to be in the shape of a C, and mine was in the shape of an S. Yeah, and so they were like, "You need immediate surgery." I started feeling kind of guilty, you know, because I was like, you know, maybe I should have just stayed on the bench, you know, and this wouldn't have happened, you know. But then you can't think about it that way, right? Because maybe I hit my head a different way. Maybe I died, you know, like obviously I could have died falling out like that anyways and hit my head, like, you know. And to this day, like my chin right here is like numb, you know what I'm saying? So I think like my beard kind of helped like say bleeding and things like that. So yeah, so 2 days later, man, I had a walk, and they went through the front, which is crazy to think. They go to the front. I had to move all my, and I just had to stay positive, man. I had to be strong for my kids, man. It was scary. It was a scary moment. You know, my son just seeing me like that. Man. You know, and that was like the only time that was like really hard for me to hold back tears, like when he would come in there. So I was just like, man, I'll be back. And so I just had a lot of supporters, man. I think all my supporters out there, everybody who contributed to the GoFundMe, everybody who just sent messages, comments, share, anything, any type of acknowledgement in any way that you did, like, I just appreciate it. And Out the Mud really goes out to you guys. Like, I did that for you guys, and, you know, and so just shout out to everybody. It just really was, it was nice to see all the support from it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a scary moment, and you know, you just don't know, and you're going into your neck, and it's like all your vitals are there, you know, and it's just a lot. So you're getting all that thrown at you at once, and it's just like it was just a lot. So it was scary. You know, people go on the knife all the time. You know, my mom's been on a knife like 20 times. You know, but when it's like your first time,
guaranteed.
It's never guaranteed. Even every time you go, it's like, yeah, it's never guaranteed. Right, exactly. So I'm just like, I just want to wake up. That's all I kept saying is like, I just want to wake up. I don't care how I am. I just want to wake up. You know what I'm saying? And so like, you know, I just kept myself positive those next 2 days, man. And so the doctor came in, and he was like, you know, I can try to do it on Wednesday. And he's like, if I can't do it on Wednesday, he's like, I have somebody do it on Friday. And I looked at him, I was like, nah, man, I want you to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because he had really good bedside manners, or you know, professionalism, like, and just how he like the empathy in his voice, and like, and he just made me feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, you about to cut me up and go inside, and like, my life's in your hands. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want nobody else just coming in one day, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then it's like, he said he had 2 in the morning, and then he's like, I'll probably get you at 1:30. And I'm also thinking, like, how hard you go in the fourth quarter? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, how hard you go in the paint? Like, you gonna be focused? You know what I mean? By the time you get to me, you know. So the nurses and everybody was planning for Wednesday, even though it wasn't like set in stone. And he comes in Wednesday morning, man, 7:30, and he was like, I moved everything aside for you, and he's like, I'm gonna get you in at 10:30, and it was a 5-hour procedure. Thought I had spinal cord leak. That would have added 2 more hours to it, and then I would have had like lumbar tube coming out my back with draining fluid and stuff. I had one out my neck draining the fluid, but out my back, that would have been a whole another thing. They would have had to take like belly fat from my stomach to plug the bone spur where the bone spur was at. So they were able to leave the bone spur there. You know what I mean? And so, and then, you know, fix my neck, man, and went home, successful surgery, you know, woke up just as excited. I was awake, you know what I'm saying? I just kept saying, I'm awake, you know, happy to be here. You know, I rode in. I remember talking about the walkie target right before I passed out, and it literally was in, and it was like gone, you know what I mean? Then woke up. But when I got home, man, I had a pretty bad scare. I had these side pains, and like 3 days later, I had these side pains. And I told my wife, I was like, oh, this is different. So she called, and they're like, get him to ER quick. Like he might have pulmonary embolism, which is blood clots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I got there, long story short, just save time. Yeah, man, I had multiple blood clots in my lungs.
Wow. And
they're like, you came, good thing you listened to your body. It's like that could have taken you right out. Yeah. And so they would treat me for preventative blood clots with the shots when I was in the hospital. Yeah. And then when I left, I didn't have anything. So I was actually kind of concerned about that, but they say they don't give them to you because it could affect like the healing of basically the blood thinners they don't give to you because it can affect like the healing and stuff like that. So I ended up having to go on blood thinners these next 3 months to kind of keep that from. So it was a lot, man. And then so like basically that was more pain. The blood clots was more pain than anything I had before the surgery or after.
So let's talk about that because after isn't that long. So how is it? What kind of effects are you having today? Is there some things you're still kind of pushing through today, or
no, man?
Do you feel kind of back to 100% almost?
I feel back 100%. You know, my hands. I had some in the three parts of my hands that were the most pain. They lingered after the surgery, and now it's finally like not even. And so every once in a while, I might get like a little sensation right here, but for the most part, it's finally all like gone. And every once in a while, I remind myself that I got a bionic, you know, artificial, you know, neck. And I think it's kind of cool, you know what I mean? Like that we can do that as humans, that we're that advanced, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's a blessing. Facts. Like I'll never forget my surgeon, bro. Like that dude, I'm in debt to him, you know what I'm saying?
Sure. I'm with you.
And that's what he does.
And it's an amazing thing that somebody can do that.
He said since he was 4, that's what he knew he wanted to do. I asked him, you know, and so, but yeah, man, I'm good. I don't have any pain. You know, I do every once in a while wake up in the middle of the night, like feeling like I'm hurting my neck or something like that, you know. But other than that,
it ain't stopping you from pumping out music though.
No, I do get stiff every once in a while, but let's talk about that.
Because you made a whole album with Smooth.
I made a whole album with Smooth.
We didn't talk about that. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah. Well,
Legend.
That's my guy, man.
And he got Smooth. He rapped like he always rapped like the rest do, man. Always. No matter what. He could be on a yacht somewhere and he gonna rap to get busy.
Man, Smooth, man.
I love it, man. I love it, man.
He's a legend, bro.
I tell him that all the time.
Yeah.
He coming Saturday with D Steel, and Smooth's already been here once, and his door always open to him. He know what it is.
Yeah, man. He's
so y'all put out an album together. Tell people what it is and kind of where they can get it.
Kings on the Fleet. That's a dope album. So basically, what you got is you got a legend from the East Side, and you got a legend from the West Side. Who, when we were coming up, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody competed against each other, like all of us. Like it was like a friendly type of competition. But we just didn't like collab and do a lot of stuff, you know. We're all in our own little silos. And so we just were like, man, we're older now. Like it's all about the art to me and Smooth right now, right? Yeah. So we have been trying to get together for a while. You know what I mean? It just never really like worked out. And I'm gonna put that on me because I was never really like, you know, coming up eager to like work with a lot of other people, you know, because I just had a particular way that I worked. And I just didn't know how it was gonna work with other people. You know what I'm saying? And so, but when you get older, I was just like, oh, it don't matter no more. Like I was actually into working with other people. That's why you see me, you know, Dizzy Obey's on my album.
Dizzy Obey's a beast.
I always say Dizzy Obey. He's on the album, you know what I mean?
Shout out to you, man.
Yeah, you know, Julie's on the album for Kings on the Fleet. So just starting to get out there and work with people. So anyways, he hit me up after I dropped Decode. He hit me up and he was just like, dog, classic. You know what I mean? And that was respect, right? You got somebody who
Yep.
just like you know what I mean?
Yep.
Puts out music just like you know, bars just like you, just respect it just like you. And then you get that respect back. It's cool, you know?
Yeah.
And we can show that mutual respect. And he gets that back from me. So he's like, we should do something. I was like, you know what? We should do something. So it started off with one song, and it was called Kings on the Flee. So he was like, you know, he's like, I'll take your lead. He's like, you go, and I'll just follow your lead. And I was like, all right, cool, bet. And so I basically found the beats, you know what I mean? Found out how we wanted to, and I sent him my part. Then he sent me his part, and then we go in the studio together, and then we create and then be even more creative with each other once we got there. You know what I'm saying? And it was so cool how we both were able to make it mesh so well, you know what I mean? As far as like the content wise, right? As far as like both being on it, because Alex alluded to this, Arthur, he said, you guys come from two different areas, two different styles, but you're able to keep everything seamless. That's creativity, man. And we just had so much fun. And so like, if you into, you know, real music, real bars, you know, real storytelling, you know, real swag, you know, real legendary, you're going to love Kings on the Fleet. You know what I mean? And we're not done promoting that
And
album.
where can you find it at?
You can find it anywhere. So, you can find it any of the FreeQunci or Smooth Music anywhere on any platform that you.
People going to say anywhere? Just tell them.
Google
YouTube
Play,
Music.
YouTube Music.
Love it.
You know, Tidal, you know, whatever. You Pandora. I got a guy that still listens to stuff on Pandora.
You came here with some CDs, you hear me?
I got CDs. No, I ain't got those no more. But yeah, you know what I mean? You can listen to it anywhere. So we came together, man, and we made a unique album, man. And so we're going to continue promoting it, continue putting out videos and things like that. But yeah, Kings on the Flee. And we did that in just a couple months.
Where'd you record that
at Carousel? I do all my music at Carousel right now.
Smooth recorded with X? Or did he?
No, we were all in Carousel together.
Word, that's fire.
That's what I'm saying. We all did it together. That's what I'm saying,
there was some legendary sessions there, huh?
Bro. We was in there together, man. And we just put it all together. And the respect that we have for each other, man, is just nice. We grew to know each other, you know, in the studio, and we had mad respect from how we both came. He came up a different way than I did, you know. But he has respect for how I came up, and I have respect for how he came up. You know what I mean? And we were both from the same place, but just similar stories, but just two different journeys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for us to come together as OGs in this city to show other artists like how we should be for one another, right? Because that's only going to uplift our city, right? And each other. That's why you do this. That's why we're sitting here talking, right?
100%.
Because we're all about positivity moving forward, right?
Yeah, flowers, man.
That's why we did it, man. So shout out to Smooth, man. Shout out to Alex Arthur. The album's amazing. It's the best collaboration out there.
Love it. So let's talk about what you might have on the horizon, or what are you kind of...
Well, before we talk about that, we got to talk about how I wrote Out the Mud.
Yep.
So after I had the blood clot situation, I had a producer who did the Win track on Kings on the Flee hit me up, sending me some beats. And I was like, how'd you get my information? He's like, man, you bought, you know, my track, Win. And I was like, oh, okay. And this dude's from Belarus. I think Belarus. He's in Europe.
Word. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But also think about how much hip hop's evolved. We talk about New York, right?
Yeah.
Was it the Bronx?
That's where it came from,
right?
Yeah.
To Belarus?
No, that's crazy.
I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but
no, for sure. I don't even know.
I think it's part of the Soviet at one point.
Yeah, hip hop that made it all over the world, man.
And this dude's like, before I got hurt, he started sending me some stuff directly. So I already had like 4 tracks done that I was going to do individually. And then so I'm hurt. And then one day I'm sitting in my chair, my neck brace on, and then boom, email comes up from him. And it's the God-given beat.
Okay.
And then that's why I say in the track, you know, I get beats directly sent to me, you know, and I spit over these beats directly sent to me. That can only be God-given, you know what I mean? And so that's where that came from. So he just keeps sending me stuff. And so I'm like, I ain't got nothing to do, right? Okay. I'm just sitting at home, right? So, and I'm in my feelings. I'm really in my feelings, bro. I'm in my feelings about a lot of stuff, right? Yeah. I mean, I could have lost my life, right?
%.
So everything starts to like process, like, dang, like I got to change some
shit. Looks a little different, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Shit looks a little different.
Yep.
And I'm also in my feelings because there's some people that I felt like should have reached out that didn't.
It's a life-changing event in all type of...
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and I'm just in my feelings. And so I'm like, so whenever I get like that, so when I do music now, I draw off inspiration. I don't just like back in the day, you used to be like, think of something.
Yeah.
Come on, think of something. Oh, dang it. Erase.
That's a fact.
Now, it just comes to me, bro. Like, and so it just started to flow through, bro.
Word.
And then every time I think I have my albums done, another beat always surfaces. Every time another beat will always surface. I'm like, dang, my album really wasn't done. And then Legend was the last one he sent me. I thought my album was done. I'm just sitting there, and then he boop boop. Lars, bro. He think about me.
Okay, I love that.
FreeQunci from Des Moines, Iowa.
I love that.
That little that makes me know I'm doing my thing. I'm just from Des Moines.
Yeah, the universe.
You know, if people listen to me from, I did it. I already made it. I don't need to have millions. So anyways, so he sends me that, and I'm like, boom, I made it, and I was like, dang, there it is. I'm like, now the album's done, and so yeah, man, and you know, he thought the album was absolutely incredible. He was like, he's like, we got some magic going. He's like, your flow is amazing. And just to read something like that, bro, and being from Des Moines, bro, like I've been doing it for 20 years, bro. But that's as an artist, you still get off on that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why, one of the reasons why you do it. Yes.
Yep.
You know, I came in here and I dropped 50 on you tonight. 50.
Okay. I'm with you.
So yeah, man. I mean, so that's how it came out. So it's a very my most personable album, bro. Like, you know, and so I just put all my feelings and stuff that I was going in. That's what Alex said. He's like, the cool thing about this album, he's like, it's fresh.
How long did it take you to record it?
5 hours. 14.
No, not the song, the whole album.
5 hours.
No, look, I get what you're saying. Like 5 hours a session, but like, how long? How many 5-hour sessions?
One.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Hold on. Wait a minute. So I'm trying to help him out, y'all. The entirety of the album, I'm saying, like the whole album.
Yeah, 14 songs.
How long did that take?
Take me to record?
Yeah.
5 hours.
This guy, man.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy, dog.
With a bad neck.
That's crazy.
I've left the neck brace in the car, though.
Y'all, you and Alex must have been vibing. It must have just been going.
Oh, I'm telling you, man. Like, there are artists.
Alex is a legend too.
There's art. He's a legend. Like, I support everybody. There's people in the city that really do this, bro.
Look, man, I'm gonna tell you.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm one of them, bro.
Yo, Alex is a super humble cat. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. We had asked him when he was here about some other engineers. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker's so cold with it. This was off camera. You know what I'm saying? This one on me. Mm-hmm. He was like, "We're not playing the same sport." I was like, "Damn, son." It's like, you can't compare me to those dudes. We're not playing the same sport.
And it's okay to think
when he said that, I agree.
And I think,
because then he took us over there, showed it to me, and it's beautiful, amazing.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, no, I love that answer, though. I felt that shit in my soul.
I love that energy, bro. Yeah. You got to have that confidence. You got to have that within yourself in order to do it. You have to believe in yourself.
Big facts.
If not, then like, why are you doing it?
All right, so you recorded an entire album in less than... Like
the session was like 7.
Two Marvel movies.
I gave myself 7 hours. 7. So I got it done in 5, and I gave Alex enough room to mix and master one track. So I'm not surprised. He was like, I can't believe you did that. He's like, I've never seen anybody do that before. He's like, you were so a matter of fact with everything you said, so intentful. And I was just like, I came in here with an intent.
Moving with intent is important.
And so, and I feel like I've always been that way, though. But, I mean, that is pretty impressive, though, 14 tracks in 5 hours. I mean, that's
how long?
That's because crazy. Because think about it. You got to dub your stuff.
Bro, it's crazy.
You're basically not messing up.
No, it's crazy.
Not messing up.
One take. Well, you know what they said about, Hov, one take Hov, you know what I mean? That's the inspiration.
They used to call me that in Florida.
Yo, so what do you got coming up now?
Good question, man. So since I dropped Out to Mud, surprisingly, just dropped that out. I just dropped that out of the blue too. I literally just dropped that. Okay, I didn't talk about it. I didn't just boop, and I'm in the face with it. That was just a surprise album. But I was already working on my next project, which was Decode 2.
Okay.
So let's talk about Decode.
Yeah, sure.
You hear me talk about Decode a lot. Decode is the album, the first FreeQunci album, the 7-track, and that was also just inspired. It wasn't something that I planned on doing. You know, changed my name from Brian Clark Music to FreeQunci, and then I was like learn some things out about, you know, who I was and, you know, who I thought I was and what I thought that this world was about and things were about, and things just weren't seeming to align. And so I just was like, all right, well, you know, I want to talk. I'm that type of person that when I feel like I've been got, you know, like in any way, like I want to talk about it. Like I do that in Out the Mud too. I talk about a lot of stuff that's going on that people won't really know, but I, you know, like I know, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh man. And so I was like, all right. And at this point I had stopped doing music. I posted on Facebook, I was done. You know what I mean? And so it all makes sense now. You know what I mean? Because I was doing Christian music at the time. And so so I was like, all right, you know, I was like, I'm gonna call myself FreeQunci. You know what I mean? Because we're all off energy. We're all tapping into a frequency to be who we are. You know what I'm saying? And the higher frequency you go, the higher you're tapped into God.
Word.
You know what I mean? And the more love you give. So it's a reminder for me to always be active and operating at a high level.
Word.
That's where frequency comes from. And so I think it made sense for me that I was dying out on the music, because I just think that the Christian music at the time, I think it was just boxing me in a little bit. And it was time for me to get back to just being just an artist from just whatever, right?
Yep.
And so that's why, like, Out the Mud, why I'm going so hard, because I think there's a lot of people don't know me before Brian Clark Music. And now they get like, no, like, and then the Decode was a concept album. Okay. You know what I mean? And so like Out the Mud for me was like more like a mixtape. Like, nah, like I got this. You know what I mean? Like I do this, you know what I mean? So when I go back to Decode, it's going to be more on that conscious level where I really want it, because I say it in the album. I was just trying to just stay in my lane, you know, but let me just remind, you know what I mean? You know, but now I can go back to just got that out of my system. It, you know, it brought me here. It's the reason why I'm here. Yeah. Out the Mud, he listened to it, hit me up, right?
Yeah.
So it worked, right? It's working. Everything's working. The universe is working itself out. Beats are fire.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to go back to my conscious, you know, music and talking about worldly things and just spiritual things, growth, you know what I mean? For all of us to pay attention to, because it's really all within, right?
Yeah.
You know, we operate within. Tell yourself, 100%. If you tell yourself something, it's going to happen.
I believe that.
You know, so
manifestation is very real.
It's very real, you know, so that's
positive and negative.
So that's where that's the realm that I'm operating in now. So that's where frequency comes from, right?
Love it.
So Decode's about that.
Got you.
So and I'm talking about, like, you know, like for instance, all the hidden symbols that Kendrick did in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
He's on that. He's on that Decode. Seriously, bro. That's what it is. That's what it's about, bro.
I'm with you.
You talking about the things that we don't want to talk about.
Facts.
Things that we all know what's going on, but nobody wants to talk about it.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable.
So, all right. So what I said was, how they duped us, I'm going to do the same way. I'm going to decode it and throw it back. So that's kind of, on a bigger scale, that's where it comes from. So Decode's always going to be, when I drop a Decode, I was always going to be Decode 2, Decode 3, Decode 4. It's always going to be in that lane. And then when I get inspired to just come out and just rap, I'll drop something like Out the Mud. You know what I mean? So
or
that's
a collab joint.
Or a collab joint. So that's what's to come. You know, so I think I'm going to have, I don't want to put a date on it. I'm just chilling right now. I go off inspiration. I already got 5 tracks done for Decode 2. You know what I mean? And I know what it's going to be like. I know it's going to be epic, like, and it's going to be awesome. But I'm not inspired to finish writing it right now. You know what I'm saying? But it will hit me sometime this year, and it will be out sometime this year.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? And so that will be a 4th album.
So let me ask you a few things.
Yeah.
Just a few things. How did the joint with you and Des Moines come about?
Yeah, Des Moines, my guy, man. He's an amazing person. You know what I like about Des Moines?
He can rap his ass off.
Well, unbelievable.
Yeah.
His flow is just so smooth,
fire,
and
it's unique.
But he's just a real authentic person, bro.
Yeah, he's solid.
Like, I like his Facebook presence, and like how he can be repping his music one time, but then talk.
Is that how the feature came together? You just kind of genuinely had like an affinity for how he carried himself?
Exactly. Very mutual, you know. Yep. I remember exactly, I think it was during COVID when we really chatted through Messenger one time, and that was back when we were like, we should do something sometime. So it was already like out there hanging in the cloud. Yep. And then so he, you know, I listened to his album. I loved it.
Yeah, Burn the Bridge was amazing.
Yeah, I loved it.
It was amazing. I listened to it all year.
So I was like, all right, yeah, we gotta do something. So I hit him up. I was like, yeah, I think it was getting close.
Got you.
Like, it's getting close. And he's like, all right. So then when the dude from Lars sent me the beat.
Yeah.
You know
I like that joint though.
Right?
I like
with the
that
Scarface,
chorus.
with
And I like that chorus too, though. I like that joint.
Dog.
That's a perfect joint for Disobey. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm a mastermind, bro.
I'm with you. Sorry.
I don't just move, bro.
I'm rapid fire a little bit. So who? Go ahead. Wrap it up.
So I get the beat. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, Disobey is an amazing person. I love his Facebook presence. I love how he can be repping his music one day and then talking about how he needs to better himself in some way for his You know, I love that about him. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the same way.
Same.
You know what I'm saying? And so he's just a real person. His music's real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Agree.
And that's why he's on my album. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm with you. So that's what I was gonna. So now answer this: who are a couple artists that you haven't worked with yet that you would like to from the area?
Yeah, that's a good Dion Key.
Beast. He gonna be here. Him and the band gonna be here next Sunday.
Yep.
Super talented.
That's already in the works though.
Super talented. You hear me?
I just gotta figure it out.
Word. Yeah.
I like
his album was hard. I don't know if you got to listen to it. It was hard, yo.
So I haven't listened to it yet, but I will.
No, it's good though.
But I listened to the leading single leading up to it.
Yeah.
You know, and I went back and listened to some of his joints, and actually me and him have shared one of the same beats, which is kind of funny because that happens sometimes.
Yeah, he has some quality videos too.
Yeah, he does, man. And so
and he's always working.
There. Yeah, who else?
Yeah, I didn't put you on the spot. Just curious.
No, I don't, like I said, I don't really talk to.
And what about one or two producers that you might not have got to work with?
Well, I'd like to work with Jordan Rand again. So he did. He
was his sound.
Yeah,
is kind of like your sound. No, I know, but he always had that. Beat, that East Coast kind of punch, and he was hard.
So he made the King.
Honestly, I just know he kind of fell back a little bit.
He does that. He comes in and out, and that's his life. That's
100%. But he's hard though.
He's local artist, man. That's what
fire
we do.
Producer.
Let me forget I'm done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know how we get. So him. I would like to work with him again because he did the King Me song on the last Brian Clark music album, 2020 Report. That's a dope. I did the video at the Capitol. Put my daughter in it. That's I'm on my Kang. I'm on my Kang. I'm on my everything, man. I'm doing my thing. Yeah, I'm on my Kang. Been on my Kang. I'm on my everyday, man. I'm making everyday plans. I'm making sound of you. So work with him again. I liked Gabe Cox.
Yeah, he was here.
Yep. That's my guy. He did the first track on that same album, 2020 Report. Like to get with him again. Actually, when he heard Out the Mud, he was like, bro. He's like, I need to get you on more tracks. I'm like, respect, bro.
He'll be coming back too soon.
Yeah. So yeah, man, those are a couple names, bro, out there, man. You know, I'd like to work with Fly Life. I think it'd be cool to get with him. He
quietly turned himself to a young. So what is something you would tell, like, because you know you talked about how you opened some doors, you did some things back when maybe the internet and everything wasn't so accessible. You kind of had to kick some doors down. What advice would you give to some artists now trying to kind of find their way and kind of get their footing? You know what I'm saying?
Be original. Be original. I feel like originality goes a long way. One of the things you said to me when you text me was, you have a unique sound for Des Moines. Because I'm original. You know what I'm saying? But you got to find out what that is, though. And it wasn't always like that for me. You know what I mean? I had to go through it and grind it. Now I feel like me and Smooth talk about it like we were talking about it off camera. We're in our prime now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're in our prime now. Like, we've experienced life. So now I got so much I can pull from, bro. I got 20, 40 years I can pull from, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Alex said to me, too, in the studio. He was like, you ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. You've been doing it. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, just be original, man, because when you're original, it's always going to be respected. You know what I mean? Like, the real people who really know, right?
Yeah.
Who know. Like, they'll be like, yeah, that dude got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna put my boy Dion Key out. He original, bro.
Super original.
He's original, bro.
Super original.
He's got everybody's attention.
Well, I've been big facts, and I look forward to seeing what he does next.
Yeah, man. So and he's coming up, man. I love the post he had. Shout out to Dion, man. I'm repping you, bro.
This is book right here.
Yeah, man. He was just like, man, I feel like I'm getting to the point where this is like really like this is what I do.
One of these, you hear me?
You know what I'm saying? And so like, yeah, grab that. He's like, I'm getting to the point where like this is what I.
This on Amazon.
Yep. Like this is what I do, and I love to see something like that. You know what I mean? Like, because that's what art. That's, at the end of the day, that's what you want. You want to do this for a living. You know what I mean? That's what you want to wake up every day. People are like, what would you love to do every day? Get up every day, go to studio.
Word. Yeah, man. You know
that'd be like, for sure, just get up every day, go to the studio. Dog.
That's what we're trying to do.
Like,
you hear me?
It just goes, dog.
I'm with you.
So yeah, so you know, I just be original and also like know when to pivot.
Okay.
And know when to.
That's probably just good life advice.
Yeah, honestly. That is like in general. Like, so I had one criticism from a foe, in the city, that I got the criticism through somebody else, and I took it kind of. I was kind of like, "What are you talking about?" He said I didn't have any character, and he was just talking about one track. He was just talking about one track, and the track. Now that I look back at it, I'm like, you know, he was right. You know what I mean? And the reason why he was right is because I didn't have any like inflection in my voice on that track, and it was just kind of like this.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And then I learned from my producer down in Florida who did all the Des Moines Boys beats. You know, when I did the Ball song, Brian Clark Music off the Heaven Flow track Ball, you'll notice on that first verse, I changed my reflection in the flow approach on the second half of the verse.
Got you.
And he was the one who, you got to take constructive criticism, man.
I always say the smartest people I've came across were always willing to learn.
Yeah.
That's something I noticed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they were just always willing to be a sponge. You know what I mean?
Yep.
No, and I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
The last thing I would say, man, is don't cut any corners when it comes to marketing and business. You know what I mean? You saw those CDs I just gave you, right? It's plastic, right? Yeah. I mean, all that's legit, right?
Yeah.
Dudes used to be on the street back in the day when those CDs were actually relevant and just passing out like blank CDs and trying to sell them for $10 and stuff like that. Like you can't do that. Actually, I had somebody do that a couple years ago at the fair. I was walking up to the fair and I was like, wow, people are doing that. You know what I mean? But you got to have the presentation. So whatever you're trying to market, just don't cut any corners. Just do it right.
Yeah. Funny side story, though. Remember I was telling you about the guy who owned the record store that used to be downstairs in this building?
Right.
He lived in the house out in the parking lot. He told us, because he's had that record store in the mall for years now, Merrill Hay. He said he does, on average, around $1,000 a week in cassettes. So when we first started coming out here, he saw us out here, and he would come up and talk to us and stuff. And he was like, yo, how can I get more local rappers to put music in my store?
Yeah.
And we were like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, all the bands come. And he's like, I have records and all kinds of stuff from all the bands, but I kind of get some pushback because I don't have any local rappers. They said they don't bring me any. Like, he's selling tapes and stuff right now. Actually, shout out to dude. He used to own the Underground Rock Shop. He just moved his store in the Merrill Hay Mall to the old Rue 21 or whatever it is. And now it's big enough to where he's going to start doing shows there again in the Merrill Hay Mall. He's actually about to open up shortly.
Merrill Hay Mall needs that.
No, so and he asked me like within the last few weeks of trying to get local artists to go there and perform. So, yo, shout out to dude, check him out. It's Rat Records or something. I should know that better. But dude's cool, man. He's in Merrill Hay Mall. You'll make sure you check him out. But yo, before we get my man out of here, you know, we appreciate you taking the time.
Man, I appreciate
you. We hope you come back. You know, maybe we get you and Smooth here together.
Then we got to do that.
You know, maybe they might see you do a podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe get to talking about sports.
Yeah.
Maybe talk about some hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just remind people, I know they can get everywhere. Just remind them the names, the albums to look for.
Yeah, FreeQunci. You know, that's what I'm on right now.
Tidal,
you know what I'm saying?
Spotify,
Out the
Apple Music
is out there
YouTube
right now.
Music.
It's hot.
Carrier
man.
Pigeon. You can get it wherever.
I don't even got to say it's hot. He said it was hot.
I loved it.
That's why I'm sitting on this couch.
I loved it. I loved it.
Listen to the album.
Beat selection slapped. To me, it grabbed me. I loved it.
It's Des Moines, man.
But
from
to
the
hear
original
about
Des Moines boy right here.
What you had to bounce back from.
Yeah, man.
Everything you had to go through. You know, I know you're a hardworking father, you know, care about your community. you know, you locked in with other solid people who I respect immensely. So I'm really glad you took the time. You had FreeQunci in the building. Hopefully you'll see more of them. Sound like you're gonna keep dropping music. I want to get back to rapping. Maybe we'll rap together sometime.
Yeah, man.
You know,
put you on there.
Yeah.
Should we close out with a song? What should we do? Should we do Worldwide with me and Smooth?
I could play something. I could play something on the way out.
Yeah, on the way out.
Is it on the YouTube?
Yeah, it's on
Kinda
YouTube.
Tell people what we're gonna be looking at.
Hey, this is gonna be Worldwide video right here. The Worldwide video, FreeQunci and Smooth G off the Kings on the Fleet album. Make sure y'all go get that. Go watch that video on YouTube. It's hot. It's crazy. We got more videos coming. The Win track is our next single. Shot by my boy Eli.
Shout out to Smooth G,
Alex,
man.
Arthur. Yeah, directed by us.
Yo, Wu-Tang love the kids.
And mad respect for everything you done, my guy, man.
Man, likewise, man. Facts, man. We had the city on lock, baby.
Yeah, that's right, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, we taking it back, man. That's why I think it's meant to be that we ran into each other today, dog. You know, if we come together as one, you being from the east side, me being from the west side, man, I mean, that'd be epic, bro.
Man, I think that's perfect, man. I think we should do that, man.
Yeah. That's right, man. So what you thinking? What do you think we should do?
We should take DMI worldwide, man. Take it to a whole new heights, baby.
Worldwide?
Yeah, for sure, man.
I like that, man. Let's do it. Bro, this song was crazy, bro. I still got people talking to me about this song when they see me. Get my limp on this. On my walk, go ahead. Talk my shit on this. What you thought is the reigning champ, king shit. Every day in life, training camp. Not really surprised that you say you can't match capacity. How did you and Smooth connect? It's a question they're asking me. Just enjoy the masterpiece. Jerk your neck back like attached to leash. If given a head start, you couldn't match my speed. Don't disrespect the G. That being me. And actually, the difference is my rhymes I speak factually. I'm all about aggression, dog, but just that bang can't write. FreeQunci.
We back at it and we bout to sweep the streets. Go hashtag it, I ain't even reached my peak. See y'all averaging, my niggas eat with kings. You know I keep receipts, so pardon me, it's the God MC. I done walked on water and departed the sea, my nigga. Hey,
Just that bang can't write.
this that NY,
Just that Chi-Town right.
this that worldwide,
But to clarify,
this that DMI,
but to clarify.
this that D.
Bro, there's so much meaning in this album too. Like Kings on the Fleet, what it means is like we're kings, right? And we like going rogue. You know what I'm saying? And like we still like we going rogue by still doing what we doing at the time that we're doing it. You get what I mean?
Yeah,
That's what the album's about. Like, no, like we still out here, like we got it. You know what I'm saying?
with you.
And that's how we came together on it, man.
Fire, man, fire.
And Smooth don't nobody move like Smooth. Like he everywhere.
Yeah, Smooth don't play no
Like
games.
he be
here Saturday.
I put out a lot of music, but he puts out a lot of music.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And that he inspired me. If it wasn't for him, that don't even happen.
Word. I love
You know
it.
what I'm saying?
I love it, man. So we'll see more music from you in the future.
Yes, sir.
People will see you around, still moving and grooving, moving and shaking.
I ain't going nowhere, man. I'm just getting started, man. That's why
One of Des Moines originators.
Yes. Oh, yes. Des Moines boy, originator for sure. For sure. Thank you, man.
So we really appreciate you
I appreciate you
taking the time.
This was great.
Yeah, we have FreeQunci in the building. Less than 7. Des Moines boys.
Drink your water.
Big facts. Take care of yourself. Thank you again.